good. But we are
That is
getting into
crazy.
Champion Select, and let's see if they checked out that just as much same as we did.
Let's see if they checked out that Draven game. That
Oh,
Draven
man.
game was insane.
Bam!
Yep.
First ban.
Draven ban. I don't even have to talk about it. We saw it.
you don't.
Everyone here saw it.
Nothing more to be said about that one.
There's the Fizz ban coming out. There's a Jax ban.
He did play Jax the
these-
last 2 games. Let's see if he's got something a little different up his sleeve.
Oh, let's hope so. The 2 general jungle bans coming out. Nocturne and Master Yi. Feral Flare stuff, you know. We do not want to deal with those guys in the game. Jax ban is actually a good general ban as well, because Jax can get very strong. As we've seen in the past 2 games, Jax can carry.
Fiora. That's an interesting one.
That's a very safe ban. Because remember last night I mained Fiora?
Yeah, but he's not in this game. So maybe that was
Still, you don't have to main Fiora to be good with Fiora. She's just such a strong champion. Once again, we are seeing the Wukong jungle, and then we see Armor Pants insta-lock that Morgana.
and Kriplov with the
Yep.
Evelyn again as well.
That Evelyn won them that game-winning team fight 2 games ago.
Certainly,
And
that
that was an
5-man ultimate with the
insane
current
play by
HP,
them.
that was excellent.
We are seeing Bex hover over quite a few supports here, and Zac.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Bex might not be playing support this time.
Not sure. They might
Unless
be
they're
swapping up champions
Swapping,
just
even
for
though they're
fun
picking
here.
at the same time.
I'm not sure. She did play Nami the last couple of games, apparently. Sources tell me. Looking at this pick, I'm not sure that Bex is going to lock in that Zac, though.
It could be an early pick. No, he's just trolling
the
us.
Nami. See, she was trolling us.
See, that's a dangerous game you're playing there, Bex. That's the last guy that trolled us in Champ Select.
We made fun of him, and then he didn't get any RP.
It's pretty brutal.
No. We're gonna see a hover over Ryze here. Ryze in the top lane lately has been extremely strong. His stuns, he's low potential to gank. Like, he can get away from anything right now. And his burst is extremely strong. He can catch out people really easily because he has a point and click stun. And that is a very strong pick, especially for the purple team. Because he's purple, you know.
He is? He's pretty blue to me.
I see purple. I don't know, he looks pretty purple to me.
He's pretty
I
blue.
also see Morgana's pretty purple. Evelyn
That's
has
true.
some purple hair. This purple team.
Ryze and Evelyn have the exact same coloration. How do you not think they're both blue?
The hair. The hair. But Ryze's tattoos are also purple.
Yeah, but he's still blue. What is that? Is that
Yeah,
some sort of
purple.
race in Runeterra or something?
I'm not sure.
What is? I don't think there's ever been a thing about that. Has there? I'm gonna have to look that up.
I don't even know.
Anyway,
We're also going to see a locked in Nidalee again this game. Last game we had... Was it Working Bob that played Nidalee? Yeah, Working Bob was
I
the
want to say it
Nidalee
was.
that played against the Fizz, but this game they banned Fizz. We're going to see FK lock in that Nidalee there. And we're
You
gonna
know
see
what?
how that
It wasn't
fares
Working
against
Bob. Working
Obelisk
Bob
mid
was the
lane.
Jax player.
Yeah, Working Bob was the Jax. We're going to see what Obelisk counter this Nidalee with. Ooh, a Lissandra.
So I think that is
Insta-lock
a
Lissandra.
huge difference in team composition here. Instantly,
That
the
is
entire
strong
dynamic
pick.
of Purple Team has just changed from having a kind of pick around and screw around team like they did that one game to Lissandra, who has a very long range, very solid initiate that can kind of do it anytime she wants.
Lissandra
I'm a big fan of
is a
Lissandra.
really good pick. You're getting in there. Look at all the stuns on Purple Team right now.
Absolutely
Lissandra has
insane.
that stun.
To be fair, Rise is a
Rise
snare.
has a stun. Well, Rise is a snare. Morgana has that stun. Well, I guess you could say they're really
Also a
all
snare.
snares, but
Except
yeah,
Lissandra.
same thing. But and that CC on the Evelynn ultimate, and Lucian's just gonna stick in the back and do that damage. This is insane. But
Absolutely. And conversely to that, there is a lot of poke on the blue team and a lot of disengaged potential.
yes, the blue team has that Gangplank, which can provide pressure all over the map, especially with his ultimate. Italy is a strong poking comp. In the middle of a team fight, Nami has that amazing knockup, and I was recently told that Bex has had an amazing KD on Nami in recent games. She's come out positive with a high amount of assists here, and I believe that she is going to help her ADC win this game if Jinx can get her positioning right. Because the Lucian and Morgana bot lane are very strong together, and we're going to see how that fares against the Nami Jinx, because Nami does have her heal. There's good sustain there. Jinx has her summoner heal. Oh, wait, can't talk about summoner spells.
Yep, man, you broke it.
Oh, I broke the rules.
You broke it.
Ban me. Ban me.
So, I think the off one here is going to be the Gangplank. Is Gangplank a decent pick here? Like, what is the plan with Gangplank in general? Is it just for the ultimate?
If you're looking at a Rise top lane, he is ranged. So you're going to have to get GP, who is a combination of range and melee, to be able to at least fare against it. You can't have a full melee champion go up against a ranged champion in the top lane. That's sort of what I spoke about last game with the Quinn top lane. It dominates because it's ranged. So playing up against that Rise, Danny DePillo had to pick something that is at least partially ranged, that he can get a CS from the back without getting too much poke or without getting snared by the Rise. This way he can at least sustain in the top lane and farm up and scale into the late game. GP was a good pick, but I'm not feeling that it would be the best pick for a team composition.
Now, that is not true, Big and Bad. There has definitely been days where Gangplank was a great pick. I remember the glory days of Gangplank, okay? I remember. It was a long time ago, granted.
They made a song called Crit Rune's Gangplank. It's sort of like the SpongeBob theme.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, I don't want to know.
Oh, there's video. It's funny. It's a good video. I like it.
I'll take your word on that one. So, how about
It's a Plinta video.
How about the lane between Lissandra and Italy? Have you ever seen this matchup before?
I've never seen this matchup because I hardly ever see a Lissandra, especially in my play, because I'm a little bit lower elo. So we don't usually see that Lissandra pick, but Nidalee is a very common pick. I want to see this. I want to investigate this lane combination to see how this goes. This matchup should be fun.
You think we're going to see another stomping, or is this going to be an extended game?
I hope it's going to be an extended game. It's the finals. We need a good game
too.
to cast.
It's very true. Gangplank is still absolutely true. Alright, so skins 2-.
Who wins the skin war?
Armor Pants has the skin, so it's going to be 2-2. No winners. 2 even. Except Jinx is hot, so, auto skin there. So blue wins.
But this is another nice Wukong skin. I don't know what I love these Wukong skins.
Love Jade
It's not
Wukong.
a bad Wukong.
I have the Jade Wukong. I do like it. Now that we can talk about summoners, let's go to the top lane. Gangplank wants to kill Rise, where Rise is actually rolling with the teleport, gonna be counting on his actual damage to get his kills.
Rise has a lot more poke in this top lane matchup. I don't feel like he needs the ignite because he's not gonna want to play too aggressive. He wants to stay up there and get his farm up he wants to poke at the GP. Whereas GP sort of needs that ignite to sustain. He needs to be able to fight back. Because if he can't make trades, he can't win his lane. He can't farm. He'll be crushed within the first few minutes if he doesn't have the ability to trade. So I'm looking to see this ignite being used fairly early in the laning phase. But like I said, Jinx has that summoner heal as well as Lucian, but their supports do not. Their supports are both bringing exhaust here. So this could be an aggressive comp as well. This lane matchup is going to be a lot of fighting. We're going to see a lot of the Nami wanting to land bubbles, and we're going to see the Jinx poke, and then we're going to see Morgana stuns everywhere, and it's just going to be...
It's going to be a blast, is what I'm hearing.
Yep. Big and Bad is voting on Team B8.
Well, alright, well, what do you got? I know you abstained from a couple of them, and then I was wrong on my pick, I'll admit. So, give me yours. You gotta pick someone this time.
Pants, correct? B8 is Armor Pants?
Yeah,
Armor Pants is on
I think so.
Scrolling. I'm going through TeamSpeak here. No, B8 is Bex and Danny the Pillow and all them. So blue team is B8. Purple team is B4. I don't want to make a decision.
Oh, you have to. You have to this time.
I'm going to give it to blue team, B8. I'm
Okay.
gonna have to.
Going with his buddy. Fair enough.
No, because the constant damage that'll be coming out from blue team is crazy. I could be wrong.
Well, no, that's definitely a good point there. There is a lot of damage in general. Even Nami ends up doing a decent amount of damage after a certain point. So, and especially if she does go for that Spell Thief's Edge.
The late game Jinx destroys.
That's very
as
true.
well as the late game GP. His crit is crazy. The Jinx bombs will be insane. Nidalee Spears, insane, and the Wukong ultimate will just sort of initiate all that.
So while I do see the potential of that composition, we'll have to actually find out if blue is going to play as if it was a poke composition. You know, I mean, they easily could have it with just as little as a Sheen or, you know, the Fist or Trinity Force. Gangplank can do a lot of poke damage and still be very tanky. Where Jinx, obviously, with the W, Nidalee, everybody knows Nidalee, but the disengage is a big part of the poke composition as well. And if Wukong ultimates, Nami ultimates, I mean, they can get away if they get initiated on.
It looks like they're going to go for an invade here. On
Just
the blue
a 2-man, nope, he does trigger that Nidalee trap.
Evelynn gets caught by a Nidalee trap.
And that's why traps are good.
Back off. That's why the Nidalee trap with level 1 is very good.
So I feel like he picked Lissandra.
I
feel like he picked Lissandra just for the pure late game. I want to initiate on Nidalee, and you can't stop me from doing it.
Yes, the mobility and Lissandra's Frozen Tomb is just going to be insane in the team fights. She's going to be able to run around with her Glacial Path. She's going to pop that Frozen Tomb, and that's going to be the start of a team fight. Especially if Wukong runs in an ultimate, she can pop that Glacial Tomb and just stop everything right there. She can just say no, and that's it.
That is a great point. She can just kind of instantly do that. Now, I will bet you 1 RP that Gangplank waits for Ryze to go into lane. Yes, 1 RP. Gangplank is going to shoot Ryze before he gets in the lane. It's gonna happen. Go get him! Bang! There it is.
Alright, you win 1 RP.
Sweet.
Contact Riot and tell him to give it to you.
Alright, I will. I'll tell him it was on stream confirmed.
It was on stream confirmed.
Oh no, a pause.
No pause here.
Got a little bit of lag going on from Jinx. On moment, please.
But if you notice, the Rise doesn't have a skin. You think he's gonna win that skin?
Ooh, that is an interesting point. If he does
He
play
wants to
Rise, I'm
flaunt
sure he
like
wants to.
I'm gonna play this skin as soon as I win this game. Like I'm gonna put this skin on my Rise as soon as I win this game.
Morgana lands a Binding Bottom, a little bit of early trading there, but Lucian takes just as much right back at it. So that's going to be a non-stop lane there. Gangplank, man, that poke from Gangplank is just as brutal as Rise for sure. An early gank
Yes,
looks
this
like
is
Evelyn
what's
wants
gonna
to
allow
make.
Gangplank to stay. Because GP is gonna need that poke to stay in the lane to be able to farm up and play a little bit more aggressively. He does have that ignite, so he probably could stand a 1v1 versus the Rise here right now.
Evelyn's going to find Wukong actually doing the damage. She's going to get that first blood. Is she going to use a flash? She doesn't even need to. First blood takes the Wukong out. Nice
He's
work
also
there
gonna
by
start
Evelyn
working
again
towards
with
the
that.
top lane here, but GP does have that warded. He's not gonna do anything about it though. He's just gonna allow it to happen.
He's Evelyn, man.
Evelyn's stealth is overpowered. He does get away from that though, just sort of walks back. He's gonna have to put a pink ward in that bush if he wants to live. There's gonna have to be pink wards everywhere in the river to prevent this Evelyn from ganking.
I have to say, it looks like Evelyn's going to try and do the same thing as before. He wants to just get fed and start carrying this team, get all those early kills. It was successful
Evelyn
once.
is gonna be there at every moment. He did a very great job 2 games ago when he won that game for his team. That final team fight, I'm still mind blown by it, but I want to see if he can do it again.
Armor Pants almost gets caught. Does take a little bit of harassment after he misses the binding, but he's doing a very good job. I saw him land several. Definitely doing good, just pushing out those 2, trying to get some damage there. And back goes Rise, not using his teleport to get back in lane. No reason to, since it's already so far pushed up anyways. And Gangplank is going to be actually coming a little bit ahead, XP and CS wise. And you're right, bot lane is a battle.
Yeah, bot lane is going to be a constant battle here. But the GP, he does have a little bit better sustain than the Rise because Rise is extremely mana hungry. So GP can just sort of stay up, pop his Q every once in a while, get that CS, and just stay. He doesn't have to back to buy as often as Rise does, but I do see he's buying that pink ward. He's making the decision to put a pink ward in that bush and just play it out. He doesn't want to get ganked again by that Evelyn.
The tricky part is he has to do it to a point where Rise doesn't see him do it, that he doesn't know he's placing that pink. And he's actually going to try and fight Rise, taking a lot of harassment. But a bottom lane gank comes in and Nami gets locked down. Does actually survive. No, one more hit from the Lucian. And Jinx went a little far trying to get the kill onto Evelyn, but did not finish it off. She actually survives. And so it is just a 1-for-0. In favor of Evelyn's team again. She is such a good ganker. This Evelyn, wow.
There is a 500 gold lead now. It's not that big of a difference. But this Evelyn is playing very skillfully. You can tell that Priplove is very comfortable in Evelyn, despite the crappy skin. He plays Evelyn very well, and I commend him for that. But I still want to see more from this bot lane. I want to see Armor Pants do something. I want to see the plays.
Well, they definitely can come. She does that perfect shield. Didn't even get a slow onto the Lucian because of him. So just gonna give him the props there. I think he's been doing very well. Did we just lag? No. Okay, that was a little weird.
No. Wukong is sticking around in his jungle a little bit here. Evelyn's going for that Elder Lizard once more. I see the buildings of it here. Wukong, I'm not sure what he's going to go. He's probably going to go for Elder Lizard as well, like he did before. GP finally places that pink ward. It's not seen yet. Evelyn will be coming in, and she can be seen. GP can back off here, but I don't think he's going to get away.
It's going to be tough. He does have the oranges. He gets right out of the rune. And yes, he's actually pretty healthy for that. The Negatron cloak right there. It absolutely will be. He's going to try and fight for it a little bit. I don't think you can do anything about that, GP. But the Negatron cloak was definitely a big part of that. He takes near no damage from either one of them.
The magic resist preventing him from getting all that damage out on Rise is very good, but Evelynn is actually doing a lot of AD as opposed to her AP. Her hate spike does do magic damage here, but it scales off of AD as well. The Negatron cloak is what's keeping him alive here, and I really like his decision to go with that, but I'm not sure what he's going to build from.
The ultimate comes out from Evelynn, does a lot of damage onto this Gangplank. He uses oranges to get out of the rune prison. Under tower, Evelynn takes a bunch of damage and did not get ignited enough. Wukong was there to try and counter gank if they did do the dive, but they didn't. And both teams come out okay for it. A little bit of a fight here mid. Nidalee actually goes in on the Lissandra, but actually has to flash away, has to use her heal, but does a lot of damage, and Lissandra is almost able to fit. Will the spear land? No. Not quite enough. If that first spear had landed, it might have been a different story in that fight.
You know, I'm not sure why people say GP eats oranges. It just says he consumes a large amount of citrus fruit. That could be anything. It could be lemons, grapefruit.
Yeah, that's true.
Why does it have to be
Could
oranges? It never
because when
specifies.
he eats them, they're orange. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Orange,
Yeah, but if a gank going down there onto Nidalee, a perfect flash and W from the Lissandra is able to lock him down for the Evelynn to do damage and finish him off.
This bot lane is still just farming it out here. The lanes are staying nulled out here,
And there's Armor Pants, lands his binding right on Anami, a ton of damage done. He doesn't have ultimate yet, but it doesn't matter because Lucian does, the culling comes out, does a ton of damage, finishes that off, and a kill for both of them. Lucian gets one and Morgana gets the other.
There's the Armor Pants plays I'm seeing here. And I like how Armor Pants stayed up with the Jinx as she was backing away, because she was prepared to land another Dark Binding. She was waiting for the Jinx to not be able to get away, that way she can just secure the kill there.
Very well timed. She didn't have to use it until they actually tried to escape. Looks like Evelynn again coming here mid. Is she gonna get in there yet? Nidalee doesn't spot her just yet. But it looks like she is gonna jump out, gonna try and go roam bot anyways. Not a whole lot going on other than that. So let's take a early look at item builds here. It looks like, going back, Jinx and Lucian both got the BF sword. Rise started off with Catalyst, and the Tear of the Goddess, so that's pretty normal.
Yeah, Catalyst is a typical build on the Rise, but I see Morgana rushing that Sightstone. That Sightstone only gives her a little bit of health. Her gold per 5 item is that Spell Thief's Edge that we spoke about before, but the Nami here is going to bring the Nomad's Medallion. She got that from the Ancient Coin. The gold per 5 that Morgana
There's an engagement bottom quick. She actually ultimates herself. Lissandra did not want to do that. She wanted to do it onto Nidalee, but it didn't matter. The hate spike was enough to kill him, and Wukong does flash in with his ultimate on to try and hit that Evelynn, and an ultimate from Gangplank is able to get the assist onto it, but Wukong gets the kill. Jinx gets the kill on a Morgana as well, and does chase it down a little bit, but Lissandra and Lucian is a little bit too nasty. They didn't want to get too crazy.
That was really well played by the blue team there. Wukong did get out alive, and he does have double buffs. He got in there, he got out, and those kills will help blue team scale a lot into the late game.
They did lose Nidalee, but they did come out ahead.
Yeah, they were 0-6, but they did get that double kill that will help the Wukong and the Jinx scale, because that could be the start of their comeback here. Jinx's mid game and late game are extremely strong compared to her early game, and we will see a lot more from her coming in here. The purple team also, I see, has a lot of vision towards the bot lane here. They can see where any angle where that Wukong might come from. They're not really prone to ganks at this point in time, so they can be aggressive, and they did get that turret safely, and they know that they can be and prepare to come back.
So it's actually, with that turret, makes It's a pretty big difference. It's not only the 500 gold by the team that purple is ahead, even with 4 kills, including first blood. So yet again,
No,
but
these objectives. They're getting that bot lane turret. They are getting those kills. They are farming up. They are waiting for the opportunity to push more of these objectives. And as soon as they push those objectives, that's global gold. That gives their team so much more gold than a regular kill would.
so speaking of the farm, let's take a look here. We have, oh, you know what? I never lined these guys up like I was supposed to. GP versus Rise is actually quite a bit in favor of Rise. Not a big
I didn't know you
surprise.
could line those up.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, that's so cool.
I've been
Oh,
doing
my
it
goodness.
most of the games.
Oh, I'm excited. I like this.
Hang on. So put Wukong, Evelyn, and then gotta have the AD carry over the support.
The Nidalee may be 0-2 right now, but she is ahead by almost 20 farm here. She is keeping up with her farm. She has her chalice, so she has that sustained with the mana. Where Lissandra rushed her her haunting guy. She's gonna get her Liandry's Torment before she does anything else. She's not even gonna finish her boots before that Liandry's Torment comes out. She wants that extra spell damage to come from her attacks here.
Horde battle bottom. It looks like, and the winner is gonna be the Nami. Actually uses the ultimate on Morgana. The Gangplank ultimate goes down, but it doesn't really land on anyone. Double ultimate from Morgana, and does get the stun under Jinx. Just a little bit more damage is what they need, but here's Wukong to help out. He does ultimate the 2. Lucian gets the kill under tower meanwhile, and then he comes back in for this. Wukong gets the kill under Morgana, but here is Nidalee getting a little bit too far into that Gangplank. What are you doing? A spear does land on Lucian. He's almost dead, but there's Lissandra going to be able to finish that off. No, Evelyn actually gets the kill.
Blue team was coming in way too split on that, and on top of that, they are giving up that top tower and not even winning the fight. They are way behind on that because GP sort of went in by himself. If you notice, like, he went in without anything, and so did Wukong. So Wukong got killed, GP got killed, and then they just pushed 2 turrets off of that.
That's very good. I'm going to give that to shot
Terrible play
calling
for Blue team.
on the purple team. They did a really good job of turning
Yes.
to the isolated player. They were very good at communicating in that, and it definitely worked out for them.
And this gives them the advantage of fighting in that choke point. Like you said, the Lucian's Requiem, not the culling, not Requiem. Yeah, the culling in the choke point is extremely strong, as well as the Evelyn being there, and that Lissandra ultimate coming out on Wukong as soon as he ulted. They just got bursted down, and they were at a terrible point to fight there.
Morgana doing
They
a good job.
sacrificed a lot for it.
Does kill 2 wards with 1 vision ward there, just getting the perfect vision onto the dragon. Jinx and Nami can't really do a whole lot about that right now. Evelyn could be anywhere, but Nidalee gonna come in and actually make a difference on it. So Jinx, Nidalee,
I like
and
how
Nami.
Morgana placed the vision ward before the they destroyed her pink. She put the green ward down first because she knew they were going to go out and kill that pink ward, which she didn't have to come back in and get caught out to put that pink ward down to keep the vision.
And she also has a sweeper, so she was able to kill the other ward that they put down. There's a lot of vision battle going on here, and purple is winning.
There is still a blue ward in the dragon pit, so they still will know if there's anything going on. But purple team has
Evelyn
Already
actually
around
starts an
about-
engagement onto Nami, does a bunch of damage to her. Lissandra's there to stop her as well, and a killing spree. Insta-death from that Lissandra ultimate. Wukong, is he going to ultimate? He does. He actually has to flash to get the pop-up on anybody, but a double kill for Lissandra as he picks up Wukong as well. The team splits like a field goal for that Jinx ultimate, and almost a nasty spear onto Evelyn, but he gets away from that as well. They do see it, so they're not going to get hit by that. But in comes the Lissandra, and the Lucian is going to try and surprise that Nidalee, and they
the
do, and a
beautiful
perfect
Lissandra
getaway from
flash.
Lissandra.
That was a beautiful flash by Lissandra, getting out of that, dodging the Jinx zap, and here comes the Cohen.
Oh my gosh, barely misses the damage for that
Not get that.
for Lucian. Actually almost dies for it. So very strong though, that's going to be the mid push along with the dragon pickup. A lot of global
And we are
gold
also
going on in
seeing
purple.
the minions at top lane start attacking that turret. They might have to send Rise back to the top lane before they can finish off this fight.
It's a pretty large wave, to be sure.
They are killing that purple team wave there. We should shoutcast the minions.
We should. They're epic
Just
heroes
the
that
minions.
nobody counts in. So Evelyn is going to be doing a tower dive here, and Lissandra almost went all the way deep. But not quite. And here's Wukong, does a little bit of trickiness, takes half his health just to get a little bit of people off this turret.
Well, I see that as being a little bit worth because they already lost those 2 other outer turrets. They don't want to lose a third, especially in the short lane.
That is very true. They're way behind in global gold. Any amount of turrets can really swing that gold one way or the other.
Objectives over kills, my friend.
That's been the theme of what we've been seeing so far. The teams that do that, they certainly win.
They do stay ahead in the game, and that is what is winning these games. These objectives that we're pushing.
So this is interesting. Rise is actually 2 levels above Gangplank, but he still kind of plays scared against him. He even has Glacial Shroud for him.
The critical strike chance on GP, and if you notice, look at GP's build. It's a little
Oh my
bit
god.
odd.
Double Spectre's Cowl.
Double Spectre's Cowl. He's wrapping up. He's keeping himself warm, and he's not gonna die to magic damage.
His head is very, very warm.
Yes.
It is a unique passive, so the health regen does not proc twice, but it is still a pretty good effects, just stats, combat stats overall anyway.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's going to be doing something with both of them. I'm guessing, you know, 1 Banshees, 1 Spirit Visage, both pretty good items on just about any bruiser you can think of. Wukong actually goes in here, does use his ultimate, doesn't pop up Morgana, in fact actually ends up binding on him, and Evelyn gets the kill with a lot of that damage. A perfect 1v1, Jinx versus the Culling, and Jinx comes out ahead with that rocket. Morgana uses ultimate, the stun doesn't actually happen. There's a 3v2 here, Evelyn gets burned down by the Nidalee and the Gangplank, but Rise says the fight is not over, I'm going to get on you. Nidalee, can he land the Rune Prison? No, he gets a spear to the face instead.
Sorry.
Oh, it's so
but
close.
yeah, the frozen tomb on that Wukong, I'm telling you, is shutting him down. He's not able to pull off any plays with his ultimate as soon as that frozen tomb comes down.
It is. It's brutal. That Lissandra is an amazing pick here. She's actually doing very well. She's 4-0-5, and doesn't seem to do that much damage.
Lose that outer turret.
But she does do percent health damage as well.
But
looks
I
like
believe
Gangplank
Purple
gonna pick
Team-
off that top one.
Not before he gets caught out by this Rise and Evelyn, though, I feel.
Oh, here they go. They are collapsing on him, and it's very close. He does see her. He's trying to get the tower. He's going to succeed there, but he doesn't know that Rise was there. He eats the oranges after the Rune Prison, but it's not going to be enough. Randuin's Omen does make him a slow, and he is going to go down. The question is who gets it? Rise gets the kill. Much needed by Rise, I think. He needs a little bit of a boost for his build. He doesn't have any boots at all.
I don't think he's worried about boots. I think he's worried about building his AP and maybe even getting some magic penetration. But Rise also wants to get tanky. That's why he has this Rod of Ages. He wants that health. He wants the maximum mana because he's gonna be mana hungry, and he wants to be tanky. Can't have a squishy Rise, or else that damage is just gonna go down.
So Evelyn is just a terrifying force in these team fights. Every time she goes to someone, they are running full speed. Wukong goes in. Is he going to get the ultimate? No, he gets Frost attuned by the Lissandra perfectly. Gangplank ultimate goes down, does quite a bit of damage. The Culling is not enough to really get any kills. Both teams kind of come out a little worse for wear, but not great. And Nidalee gets locked by a Morgana binding, but the Nami bubble onto Lucian is able to stop that. Rise doing a ton of AoE damage here, just sustained damage from Rise. Poking those goes down, bringing them down. Gangplank has no choice, he has to go back. Even Nidalee is pretty low. Gonna see if she can land a good spear here.
Nobody dies.
The Jinx ultimate
Ooh.
kind of flies by, does a lot of damage to that Lucian. Oh my gosh. And even, it looks like Nidalee gonna find the Lucian, and he does get the execute onto her, but a flash from Evelyn answers that kill as well. 1 for 1 in that deep dive by Nidalee.
Now we are seeing all 3 outer turrets.
Oh, you just cut off. Did you mute your mic or something? Well, anyway, it looks like Rise and Gangplank going to do a little bit of fighting here. Nami's up here to help. Is that going to be enough for Rise to get killed? He still doesn't have any boots, but it doesn't matter. He uses his ultimate just to escape. So, good plan there. Dragon just popped up. So we'll see if either team starts to go for that. I don't see any pings going down. There's a purple ping. They did notice that it was up. And Evelyn is going there. So they're going to be getting that global gold as well. 36 to 32, 3 turrets for each side. Wukong's going to try and come over here just to interrupt, maybe get the smite steal. He does have to use decoy, so he can't have that trick up his sleeve for at least 15 seconds. It's going to be a fight. No. Perfect smite by the Evelyn. Is able to pick up that dragon. It was a close spear, but we'll see if that actually makes a difference here. Each team just kind of going back, doing their farming. Gonna try and get all their items here. Phantom Dancer on the Jinx. Bloodthirster Phantom Dancer, great build. She's doing a lot of damage. But at the same time, Lucian, a little bit more early damage from that Sheen, from the Phage proc. So see if that ends up making a huge difference either way here. Morgana, interesting build from our Armor Pants buddy here. He's got the NLR. It looks like he's going to get Zhonya's first after Lucidity boost. So not nearly as much tankiness as we've seen him build, but definitely a lot of damage, and he can pull his Zhonya's after he ultimates. So it's Nidalee, I believe, did spot Evelyn. Did see the Lucian as well. So we'll see that that's just going to be a 2-man on 2 push, but Nami is here to help as well with Jinx. So going to be a dangerous spot for Lucian, in fact. But here's Lissandra. And the long-range initiate from Lissandra can certainly turn any of these fights into whenever, wherever they want. And here comes Rise to maybe help out that as well. This could turn into a full 5v5. Not 100% sure. Red buff is picked up by Lucian. Of course it procs. It procs every hit. It doesn't mean it doesn't proc just because it's not a chance anymore. But an initiate looks like from Evelyn does do a little bit of damage to Nidalee. Decides not to follow through, but the spear lands onto Lissandra. A lot of damage there. Morgana flashes in for her ultimate. Does use the Zhonya's. A kill goes on to Evelyn from the Gangplank. Even comes into it. Lissandra gets a kill onto Nidalee, and Jinx gets it onto Morgana. The kill gets there. A lot of back and forth action. Lucian gets the kill onto Wukong as well, and another kill onto Lucian. The flash is enough. Rise has to run away from this. Jinx, the huge damage amounts. Triple kill with the red buff slow from Jinx, and that's an ace for the blue team. A great comeback fight for them. Work being done by the Gangplank. And wow, even Jinx is going to come up here and just tank the turret, do a lot of damage to it with her amazing Q attack speed, which will probably get nerfed, just saying. But not what we really expected out of this blue team. They were able to turn that engagement in a huge way. That split engagement, I think it had to be... It had to be purple making the engagement as opposed to getting engaged on by that Gangplank. He kind of came around, did that perfect positioning flank. Team needs to be putting out wards. They need to be making that initiate via Lissandra, via Evelyn coming around. Morgana was kind of a reactionary initiate, but he certainly can land a binding and make the initiate as well. So both teams, again, just going to be farming up, working on vision. Armor Pants doing what he does best, putting down pink wards, controlling the vision for his team. He's very good at that. We give him props there. But again, Nami also has been doing very well in team fights and has done a good job of warding up his side of the jungle so they know it's happening. Okay, so the Cursed Voice did drop out. We're going to try not to miss anything. Oh no, but engagement happens while we're missing it. A little bit of lag here. Let me just pause it for you guys. I'm sorry, we're going to get Brad back into this. Brad, are you on chat? You need to say it on chat here. Alright. He said J4PS. Oh, come on, Curse Voice. Okay. Hey, can you hear me, Brad?
Hey, yeah, I
Alright,
can hear
there
you.
we go. Alright, that was an easy
What
join.
happened,
Okay,
man?
I don't know. You tell me. Let me make sure my stream's
I don't
still
know.
running. Yeah, we're still streaming. Alright, so let's get back into this game. I am not at full timing here. I'm at 26:57. Can you find it?
I'm at 27:50.
Let's go to 26:57. Because we're waiting. We're gonna be a little bit behind the game.
Can't just make it click live.
Okay, fine, we'll do that. Alright, so what we missed here, guys, it looks like we're not gonna go live. We did miss a little bit of a fighting there. Nidalee does go down. No, wait, we're backtracking just a little bit there. Okay, so Morgana and Ryze did go down. Blue team has kind of snowballed that fight there that they used.
Yeah, I was still watching the game even after the connection was dropped on the call. Blue team did get a triple kill, I noticed, and they pushed this fight really far out of that. GP is trying to be the tank, but not doing that great of a job. He keeps getting killed.
Well, he is getting the initiate, though. A big fight here going on. Evelyn was engaged on, but able to actually get out of that with his shield, and nobody dies in that one. Ryze was already dead. He's just respawning.
They did
Wow,
push out
Wukong
that
almost
turret.
died. They did get that turret.
An overall gain for the blue team here. They're also going to get a lot of damage out on this bot lane turret here. They might actually take it before purple team gets to Jinx.
Jinx doesn't exactly need a ton of time to do that, but he gets bound right as the speed proc, so he isn't able to go anywhere. A perfect shutdown by Lissandra.
They are getting these objectives though. I'm not too concerned, and if I was on their team, I wouldn't be too concerned about the kills as opposed to these objectives, because they are ahead by 2 turrets. They're keeping up with the gold by at least 1k, and purple team is looking like they're gonna go for a Baron fight here.
I don't think they're going to end up doing it. They just walked through about 800 blue wards to do so. But I'm going to eat my words because, oh, well, Lissandra wants to go straight in on a Nidalee. Actually uses the ultimate, but Nidalee was able to use Summoner Heal to try and stop that damage. Morgana even has to try and get more GP off of this. GP uses the ult. The damage going. Baron is just murdering the purple team. They can't do much about it. Evelyn gets burned down before he can even do a whole lot. The ultimate from Morgana does the damage. Gangplank is able to get that on Nidalee, even picks off the Lucian, and here comes the spear. A finished double kill on Lissandra. That Nidalee doing work in these team fights.
See, having Jinx dead during that fight, I was thinking it was going towards the purple team to get that Baron, but they backed out of it. They did not focus onto the Baron. They got split up, and blue team just came in and took advantage of it. Now they're going to get this Baron buff, and they're going to be able to push in.
They just got murdered by Baron himself while they were getting ultimated by the Gangplank. That was just a lot of area control, and nice work by the blue team taking advantage of that. I think the tip-off should have been that ward. When they saw that pink ward, they should have just said, okay, we shouldn't do Baron. They're all up. But they decided to go for it anyway. What they didn't know is how many stealth wards they walked through that let them know that they were going for that Baron.
Baron is one of the ultimate throws in this game.
Absolutely will not argue with that. Seen that more times than one, that's for sure.
Now, if you notice how they were down in kills earlier, that Baron buff and this Dragon now is putting them ahead by almost 3k gold.
Wow, so that is a huge swing because they were behind before that team fight, and they're still behind in kills, technically. But
yeah, they were behind by 3 kills, they were ahead by 2 turrets, they have the Baron buff, they just picked up another Dragon. They are leading in the gold right now.
So what kind of effect are we going to be looking here? Is this gonna benefit them that much? Just this little what is this? Almost 4K.
This is going to snowball. I see this snowballing right now because Jinx's damage is insane. She's built up 257 farm to be the highest in the game, and she is rich. She has that Last Whisper. She has a Banshee's Veil. That Phantom Dancer and Bloodthirster are what's giving her this amazing amount of damage from the back line that she just needs to stand there and kill.
So I want to throw out the Rise picked up Iceborne Gauntlet off of his Glacial Shroud instead of finishing his Tear of the Goddess into a staff. I think that might actually be the biggest mistake he's made this whole time we've watched him.
He's getting that cooldown reduction, but the Spellblade is not enough to give him the damage. Like the unique passive on Iceborne Gauntlet, it's not going to give him enough damage to fight with that. He should have upgraded that Tear of the Goddess.
It certainly doesn't make him the difference between that and Frozen Heart's cooldown reduction, as opposed to the Iceborne Gauntlet. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, it's an interesting.
Nidalee Spear.
Sure. Oh, did I miss something?
No, look, Rise got hit by Nidalee Spear once. Look at his HP.
Oh wow, yeah, he did have to go back after that one. She does have that penetration. Oh no, just a Sword Boots penetration. Another hit. Evelyn taking the poke, and another spear, almost death. He actually ultimates to try and get the kill, but 28 HP on Lissandra. She does walk out of it. And Rise.
I am cringing as these Nidalee Spears come out.
Even Gangplank
GP
just
gets
about
away
died.
barely, but the Nami heal.
Lockdown on the Nidalee. Rise finds it. Morgana gets popped up and has to use his Zhonya's. Is able to land a stun. Is he going to go down? He kind of walks by the rest of the team. Jing gets a kill onto Evelyn and a kill on a Rise via Wukong. A lot of AoE comes down for Lissandra, but it's not enough. A double kill for Jinx. She is just murdering this team. Late game Jinx has officially taken over. Another spear lands onto Lucian. These spears are different than what we saw early game. Afrique all of a sudden has a bead on the purple team.
That was extremely well played by the blue team. I noticed when Wukong came in for his ultimate, Lissandra did not put her casket on him. And that allowed him to get that knock-up. And following his knock-up, the Nami tidal wave just came in and knocked them up again, preventing them from doing anything for such a long period of time, allowing Jinx to get that damage out. And that's what's snowballing this game. There's nearly an 8k lead now in the gold, and 2 inhibitors down. Same thing as we saw last game.
So an amazing swing. I don't think I've ever seen a team losing in kills and still almost 10k above in gold. Pretty amazing.
Man, I'm telling you,
I know
there's a 4-tower lead here.
And not to mention the dragons they've picked up and the Baron as well.
Yes, that Baron, it got them so powerful, allowed them to make those plays, and allowed them to win that team fight.
So I want to point out the difference in our Wukong this game versus the Hydra build. This guy got Spirit of the Elder Lizard as well as Black Cleaver. Is there a different style we're seeing from this Wukong as opposed to the other?
He's going for the armor pin and he's getting that defensive items. He has his Banshee's Veil and he's getting more magic resist here. That Vampiric Scepter we could see built into a Hydra, but a late game Hydra really doesn't make much of a difference other than the wave clear aspect of it. We still could see it though, and that will help him split push, that will help him get more damage out during the team fights, but I don't think he's going to be making much more of an impact on the team fights other than his knockup. He's going to rely on Jinx to get this damage out, and he's going to rely on Nidalee to poke so hard with these spears, and that's what's going to win these team fights. He's there to CC, knock him up, and be the tank.
So very scared of what happens when Nidalee finishes that Void Staff. She actually does get a binding, but did she land on one? I didn't see it land on anybody.
That landed on Lucian.
Oh wow, he did have to go back. Almost half HP. Oh, and another spear goes sailing right by that Lissandra. She's trying to do her own poke, but she just does not have the range to do the kind of poking that they can. They kind of isolate Gangplank, but then an ultimate comes out from Morgana. She uses Zhonya's, no stun at all, and a perfect spear is able to finish her off, and Wukong gets a kill onto Rise as well. Lucian trying to do some damage, has to flash away from Wukong, and gets a lot of damage there. Jinx using her long range rockets, and is able to do a ton of damage to him. Wukong even does a lot of poking there, and another spear lands right onto the Evelyn and is able to finish her off, I think this is going to be the game.
This is going to be the game for the blue team. It was very well played by the blue team. That perfectly timed spear as the Zhonya's hourglass went off. And oh my goodness, that was insane.